Welcome to another enlightening edition of the No Limits Life podcast. I'm your host, Nordine, joined by my co-host, Ken.
Hello.
Today's episode dives into the world of healing, resilience, and the power of ancient wisdom in modern medicine. It's about overcoming the odds, finding your purpose, and using that purpose to bring relief and transformation to others. True healing begins when we treat the roots, not just the symptom. Our guest today is Kari Hahn, a licensed acupuncturist in French, and the founder of Oro Valley Acupuncture. With over 2 decades of experience in Chinese medicine, Kari's journey began as a patient searching for solution to her own incurable ailments. Today, she's helping others find relief from chronic pain, neuropathy, fibromyalgia, and more. Her practice is a testament to the power of holistic medicine and the resilience of the human spirit. Please join us in welcoming a true healer and advocate for holistic wellness, Kari Hahn. Kari.
Hey, Kari.
Thank you very much. Glad
really
to be here.
To have you on the show. Let's start with today's quote. True healing begins with when we treat the root, not just the symptoms. How does this reflect the philosophy behind your work and the mission of Oro Valley Acupuncture?
So it's really a journey, and I don't know that everybody always looks at true healing as a journey. We're so accustomed to having quick fixes in our culture.
That would be me.
And well, it's what most of us grew up with, right? So the idea behind Chinese medicine is that it's really a process. And if you've had neck pain for 20 years, you're going to have to come for a while. The thing that stands out with Oro Valley Acupuncture is it's not just acupuncture. It's really other therapies that I include in addition to the acupuncture that gives us the success rate that we have. So I've been doing Chinese medicine for 20-something years, but the way that it helps with chronic conditions is something that I've developed over time to get those changes to happen.
You mentioned true healing. Is there no other healing than healing itself?
Well, there's Band-Aids, which most of us are accustomed to. But true healing is just the one
Were you talking
thing.
about the traditional world of medicine?
Well, yeah. And it's great if you need a surgery or something like this, but true healing is a lifelong process.
Yeah. Would you say that true healing starts within first?
Hopefully. But not always. Sometimes it's just a deeper call for something different, or the thought that I'm in pain, I'm in my 60s, and I don't have to live this way. So in that way, it is a deeper.
Would you say that you, as the doctor, are able to create that environment of returning to within oneself? When people come to see you and they don't have that sort of mindset, and they're desperate in finding a solution to heal themselves, because at the end of the day, people heal themselves. You're there to give them all the tools and help them go within. In your case, for instance, did that start from yourself, Kari, Dr. Kari?
I would say yes, but really everything I have done and designed at Oro Valley Acupuncture around, to the point of my staff having the energy of being really welcoming. You know, everything is intentionally designed to have the person have that opportunity.
And you don't have to convince me, because I can feel it. I've seen people working with their doctors or their nurse or coaches who didn't really trust the facilitators because there was no energy connection. The person was very knowledgeable, but there was no connection whatsoever. So I think I would say, and I can guarantee you that 80% of what your success is based on how you proceed and how you treat people and your energy. You know, I can see it with your staff when you say so eloquently, and my staff with a big smile. I love this.
My son and daughter-in-law are both medical providers, and so I became a little familiar with their journey, right? And I guess with yours, like, because there's so many different options when it comes to medicine. Why did you go the acupuncture route?
I would say it all started with a question. I remember being 7 and I went to this pulmonologist. I had asthma. I would go to the hospital and be put on steroids. And I remember I was 7 years old and the doctor told my mother that I would be on inhalers for the rest of my life. And in my brain and in my heart, I was like, I know that's not true, but I have no idea what the solution is. So then years later, somebody said, I used to like to go hiking and do all this stuff, but I had allergies, asthma, a whole slew of, like, my energy, I just didn't feel good. Digestion, I won't go into details, but somebody suggested acupuncture, and I found an acupuncturist, and she didn't just do acupuncture, we did herbs. She said, if you really want to get better, you'll get up from 4 to 6 a.m. and do Qigong. And,
Wow.
she really said all these
So
things.
more Eastern medicine.
Really holistic Eastern Chinese medicine. And I was so gung-ho and so enamored that I said, I'm just going to do everything you say. And I did. And within maybe 8 months, I was about 28. Within about 8 months, I was off all medications. And
Wow.
I was sleeping better. My energy was better. And I was like, is this how people are supposed to feel? She's like, yes. And so it made me understand the power of traditional Chinese medicine and the deeper things it changed. I mean, I wasn't blowing my nose like I was, and I could breathe better, but inside I had changed.
I am one of those quick fix, but I'm starting to learn that it doesn't really work that way. And so I guess I have one more question on this. How do you get people to stick it out? Because it took, 6 to 8 months, right?
It all depends.
And you just have to stick with it, right? And know that it's going to work. Yeah. Yes.
Hence,
no pun intended.
Hence the word you chose. It's a process.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about you and connection with Miraval. I know that you worked there for a decade, right?
Yeah.
And apart from the politics and everything else, but what were you able to bring? And was it a moment during the time you were becoming a doctor, or you were already a doctor while you were there?
I had graduated school. During school, I did a lot of my training with my teacher. And he's who I learned really all the skills I have from. And I trained in his clinic, but I was like, a little part-time kind of thing would be great. And so I saw Miraval wanted an acupuncturist, and I called, and they were like, and at that time I was doing a lot of craniosacral therapy, a lot of Qigong, and I did Thai massage. I did a lot of hands-on work in addition to the acupuncture, and they let me create programs and treatments. And these treatments just became this huge thing. And within a few months, they're like, we need you here full time. Like, we need it. We have to. And I would have so many guests that came often to come for these treatments.
You sound exactly like me when I was asked to go there and develop something, which the something I didn't know what was, the something they wanted. But it's a process that led me to do many other things using the same principles, which is always start from here. And that's what you did in creating these programs. They were uniquely yours, and people felt that, and so you were able to take that and offer it to the lame person. And this is what you do now in Oro Valley. By the way, I live in Oro Valley.
Oh,
I'm your neighbor.
you should come by.
I will.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, she goes to see somebody else. I'm going to have it go to you.
Oh.
She sees that person every week. It's a guy, and whenever she goes, I'm a little jealous. even though she says he's very old.
Yeah, he's at least 30.
Now, I think you saved my relationship.
Oh, good. Good. Send her over.
So, I will.
He's all choked up
If she
over that.
sees
Okay,
this,
we got to
she
come
was-
back. Got to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. What makes your practice so unique?
I used to do really traditional, acupuncture, some Tuina Chinese massage, the craniosacral, and over the years, I've started developing other ways to really assist the acupuncture, and a lot of it's electrical medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I do, it's called ATP bioresonance.
Mm-hmm.
What it is, it's little pads, electrodes, they go deep into the tissues, but we could program it for a certain issue and a certain tissue.
Wow.
So what it does is a lot of it reboots nervous system. And most of the people walking around with chronic issues, if you take down a few levels of stress, tension, anxiety, whatever, they can see the world a lot clearer. They still have shoulder pain, but those few levels are shaved off. And then you're like, you can see what you want to work with.
Yeah. So are you referring to the anxiety and fear based on their pain, or the opposite? Anxiety and fear, many of this, as you know, doctor, many of these pains also symptoms of anxiety, as you know.
Yeah.
And so it helps them with alleviating anxiety altogether.
It's all connected.
Connected.
And if it was 5 years ago, I would say, yeah, definitely there's the issue and then the anxiety and fear. But I think nowadays, it's like everybody has a lot of anxiety and fear because of the last handful of years, and I won't go into all that.
Yeah. I know what you.
Everybody's stressed in ways that they really haven't been before.
The level of stress and anxiety has quadrupled the last decade.
Yeah.
I can say that from experience myself. I've suffered from anxiety, chronic anxiety, since I was little. I was bullied at school every single day, beaten, living in poverty, But anxiety also served as a fuel for me. I used it to drive me for a long time.
And go either way, huh?
Yeah, because I noticed that my creativity level was also the part of the brain, as you know, that is responsible for creating that anxiety, is also responsible to create everything else, which is passion, whatever skills that you. So when you're busy doing what you love, you're not busy doing what is self-destructive. So I think that, anxiety can, and as you said, it's prevalent now. Even my kids have it. And it can also be something you carry from your past generation, generational, anxiety. And I send my kids to, gym, to run, to do sports and everything else. And I think I should send them to you too. But as per me, you'll see me, but the way I coped with anxiety was creating, writing, competing. I write all the time.
He does. I've seen it. I'll be talking to him. He goes, wait, I got to write that down.
Because it's like there's the wall, there's a crack on the wall, and there's water. The water goes to the crack, right? You repair that crack. Where does the water goes? Nowhere until there is another crack. Yeah. So what you do, you remove all these cracks, which is incredible. And it's what I do with my work. It's what I do with everything else. But there's a certain point where we reach a level of pain where we need you, and I'll celebrate that. Thank you.
Well, I have a question for you. Well, first of all, I'm a witness. I'm an actual testament to this working, because I have had acupuncture. I didn't know what he was doing, but I have had the electrodes in my back, and it was the most amazing thing. But within 24 hours, the pain that I suffered through for so long, I would say 70-80% of it was gone.
Wow.
It wasn't 100% gone, but it was gone, and I knew with some more treatments it could potentially go away. So I've seen it work. I mean, I'm a witness to it, which is amazing. But I guess what I'd like to know, if I was a viewer or a listener right now, could you give us like one or two examples of success stories that you've had with patients?
Absolutely.
And by the way, I know you work with the toughest, right? So when a doctor says, I can't do anything more for you, You love those patients, right?
I really do. I really do. And one of the biggest things we treat is peripheral neuropathy, which is the degeneration of the nerves, usually in the feet, sometimes in the hands. And when these nerves are in the state of degeneration, people have the numbness, tingling, all this.
That's where you wear something in your shoes, right?
You wear something in your shoes, but eventually when those nerves totally die off, you can't feel your feet.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've had patients that come in, and what we do is we do our own neuropathy test, tells the amount of sensory loss. And we have people in our community driving around with zero sensation in their feet. And I say, is your partner in the lobby? Do you want me to go get them? And, no, I drove here myself. And I'm like, okay, I really hope that you continue treatment here, because it's really scary. And there are so many,
you drive in and you
million.
Can't feel your feet.
Can't feel.
How do you feel the brake?
It's dangerous.
You got to feel the brake.
This is exactly my point. Over the time, what we do is we rejuvenate and reawaken those nerves. And then we have some people that are like, oh, I'm feeling all these sensations and weird things in my feet. And I'm like, that's because we're waking things up. So one example was a guy who was in danger of losing his license. He was like 99% gone, and
Wow.
this was both feet. And so we did the test, and I said, you're gonna have to come for a while, and he did. And after about 4 months, he came in his new car because his doctor gave him the okay to continue driving, and for him it made all the difference.
For me, the non-traditional is part of my life, okay? Because I've been in that holistic field for 30 years. But I also have doctor friends of mine who are in the traditional and are doing a great job.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not here to badmouth the traditional world of medicine. It has its place. When they fail, we can access then the non-traditional. And sometimes I've seen both, patients that are going to the traditional and non-traditional. Would you say that is accurate?
I would say that I see that a lot as well. And a lot of times people will come and say, the doctor said I need a knee replacement, and I want to do everything to avoid surgery. So I'll say, okay, come for a few months. We'll get the pain level down, get things moving. Sometimes they still need the surgery. Then I can help them with the healing. And of course, do what you have. You're the
There's
one
a
living in
synergy
that
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Kari, thank you. Thank you for your journey and the incredible work you do. Your story is a powerful testament that even if you don't believe, you can heal, right?
Absolutely.
and that's beautiful, because in that disbelief comes that belief. You do not know if you believe in something if you have not disbelieved that same thing, So thank you for coming here. And
Am I up to bat now?
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're wrapping it up. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today on another great podcast of No Limits Life. Please make sure that you like, share, comment.
So we can help you.
Nordine loves the comments. I do too. So does Emilio.
Dr. Kari can help you.
Yes. And make sure you join us again on another episode of No Limits Life. Thanks.
Thank you.